Well, this is unexpected. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I'm LotusAsakura, the one who never knows best. In today's video, we have some Dragon Ball FighterZ news to talk about. And I don't know about you, but I just didn't think there would ever be any news to talk about again for this game. But much to my surprise, and maybe to many of y'all's satisfaction, we do in fact have something to talk about here today. So first things first, we have a video here from the producer of Dragon Ball FighterZ, Hiroki-san. So let's just go ahead and play that. And actually, let me go ahead and move my camera out of the way over here so you guys can see the subtitles. I'm just go ahead and let this play, and then we're just gonna talk about it a little bit. So it's actually quieter than I thought. So as you can see, this is Tomoko Hiroki, the producer of Dragon Ball FighterZ. Your consistent play and unwavering support have allowed us to make balanced adjustments and release DLC content since the game's debut in 2018. We sincerely appreciate your continued support. Can't believe it's been 6 years since this game came out. The time has flown by, dog. Dragon Ball FighterZ is celebrating its 6th year since its launch, and this year we will again be holding the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour 2024-2025. When they hosted the tour, I thought this last tour that we just had would be the final one. And I figured that the nail in the coffin and them pretty much confirming that support for the game was over, that there's no more tours, no more DLC updates, anything like that, was the fact that at the World Tour, there was no announcement. Nothing, no announcement of a tour. I don't think, we didn't even have the release date for rollback, I don't think, at the World Tour. And then they just randomly dropped it like a month or two later, right? Like, it was just, yeah, I was like, okay, that's it. That's all, folks. You know, Porky Pig with it. And then they just randomly dropped this on Twitter today. And I'm honestly shocked. The only thing is, and we have some things to look at. We're gonna take a look at the Bandai Namco website. It's just weird because it's like, what prevented them from being to announce this sooner? What were the logistics behind? Like, clearly, because, you know, we're already a decent ways into what I would say is the fighting game season, right? Like, you've already missed Frosty Faustings, Combo Breaker just passed by, you know what I mean? We just had DreamHack Dallas, you know, and there's still plenty of fighting game events left for the year, and I'm sure there's plenty of events on the tour. And they're gonna have online events as well, which is mentioned here in the video. So I'm just a little confused as to why this wasn't announced sooner. But it is what it is. But anyway, this year's tournament will take place both online and offline, thanks to the rollback netcode. The tour will kick off on June 28th at CEO Fighting Game Championships, and all fighters are welcome to participate. I'm shocked. Not only, there's so many things I'm surprised about with this, but competitively, DBFZ is not what it once was, right? Obviously, the game is not nearly as popular as it used to be. It's not a main game at EVO this year. It wasn't a main game at Combo Breaker. I don't know if it's a main game at CEO, but it'll obviously be a game that's there. I'd be very curious to see how many entrants are going to end up being at the events on this tour, because it just doesn't get the same entrance that it used to. You know what I'm saying? It's 6 years old. There are other bigger, newer games that are more popular mainstream that have come out and just kind of surpassed it. It's par for the course. It just is what it is, right? But also, I wonder how short notice this is for players who would be interested in being part of the tour. Because there are probably some players who, like, when there was no tour that was announced at the World Finals, were like, okay, well, I guess that's it. Like, I'm done playing Dragon Ball. I'm going to move on to the next. And then if there are players who are maybe still playing, and would be interested in participating, maybe they wanted more notice in advance so that they could go to CEO, or maybe it won't matter because of the online events, whatever. But yeah. For more details on the rules and format of the tournament, please check the official website and the Dragon Ball Video Game X or Twitter account. In addition to the rollback implementation, we'll be making further balance adjustments. Now that's, like I said, this was just bomb dropped out of nowhere. We'll share the exact timing and details as they become available. Please stay tuned. So I don't know if that's just one patch, if there's going to be multiple patches, but there's going to be another balance patch. With the combination of the rollback netcode and a new balance patch, this year's World Tour will be the pinnacle of Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, I don't know if that means that this will be the end of Dragon Ball FighterZ, but hey, who knows? We're grateful to all the fans who have supported the game, and we're preparing exciting things to ensure that participants and viewers of the World Tour have an amazing experience. Make sure to participate or watch and get ready for an epic showdown. That's all. I hope you continue enjoying Dragon Ball FighterZ, and thank you very much. So yeah, new patch coming. We have no details as to when. I have no hopes for the patch. You know what I'm saying? Like, You guys know I've stopped making content on the game. I haven't been playing the game. The last time I touched Dragon Ball FighterZ was in December when we had the rollback beta. I haven't even played the game since rollback has officially come out. And then even before the beta, I hadn't played the game since September when I did my subathon. I had that first to 50 without Odoya. Before that was Evo. So in the past year, I've played Dragon Ball FighterZ like a total of 3 times. That being said, does this excite me? Does this get me hyped? Will I be playing the game? No, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm excited for the World Tour. Like, do I still support the game? Do I still want to see the game do well? Do I want people to continue to enjoy the game? Of course. Just because I don't play it or enjoy it that much anymore doesn't mean that I can't support it or want the best for it. I want the best for the people who are still enjoying the game. So I'm hoping that you guys are excited by this, and I'll watch the events for sure. I don't plan on participating in any of them, but I'll definitely watch this. We'll probably do some some watch parties on stream. Twitch.tv/LotusAsakura, links in the description down below. And that's all well and good. Now, as far as the balance patch goes, I am curious. I'm not gonna say that when the patch drops, I'll pick the game back up or I'll play it, but I am a little curious. The thing is, though, the recent patches that we've gotten have all been the same thing over and over again, where it's like they just keep doubling down more and more and more and harder in this direction that they've taken the game, that obviously myself and a lot of other players did not like or enjoy. And I can only assume that it's just gonna go further in that same direction. But I don't know. I have no hopes, no expectations, nothing. Like, my mind's a blank slate when it comes to what this patch is going to entail. But anyway, we jump over here to the Bandai Namco website. You can see we have a little bit more information on this. Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour 2024-2025 begins on June 28th, 2024. Embark on a thrilling journey across the globe with Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour 2024-2025, featuring 1 Power Plus event, which I'm going to assume is Evo, and 11 Power events. Witness the fiercest battle unfold as the world's top fighters converge to showcase their mastery of the game. You have the skill and the determination to rise victorious. Step into the arena, test your limit, and seize your moment of glory. There's going to be an offline world tour and an online challenge. So full offline world tour with a global leaderboard, premium FGC offline tournament, community offline tournaments, and leads to DBFZ World Tour finals. There will be online regional competition, regional leaderboards, community online tournament, and this all leads to the DBFZ World Tour LCQ. In this exciting new edition, the world of Dragon Ball FighterZ opens its doors to both offline and online competitors. While the offline circuit remains the heart of the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour, culminating in the finals, our online challenge offers a thrilling opportunity. Compete online in your region for a chance to secure a spot in the prestigious Last Chance Qualifier Tournament and earn yourself a trip to join the fray. Oh, okay, so you can't qualify for the finals through online. You can qualify online for the LCQ, which gives you a chance to compete offline, I assume, for the actual finals. I don't hate that. I think that's pretty cool. I think because the thing is, like, it gives people a chance to compete even if you're from a region that doesn't have like a lot of offline stuff or whatever. And obviously with rollback, you have a wider spectrum or range of like online events you compete and stuff, so more players can get involved. But it makes it that necessarily, like, let's say if you're from an obscure region where there's not a lot of players, and let's say you can't travel, you only go to one, maybe you only have like one event or whatever, like locally, whatever. Like if you're a not as good player from a not as good region, you don't get to qualify for the world finals over somebody else by just being the most dominant in a region where the competition is a lot weaker. You may have mixed feelings about that. I think it's pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we've seen stuff like that. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but it's just like there's a player, let's say from America, who doesn't qualify because a player from random wherever region qualifies through his region's online events because he's just the best player in a country where the competition's not as fierce, right? And he's just completely outclassed and outmatched by everybody else who's there because these are players who are more sharpened from being up against tougher competition more consistently, you know what I mean? And I'm all for people having opportunities and everything like that. It is kind of a shame, and I wonder how players that have been through that themselves feel about that. And when I think about it, actually, there have been times where we've seen players from other regions participate in Dragon Ball FighterZ events, and they're just very clearly, like, they might be one of the best players where they're from, but they're very, very clearly far outmatched by some of the other players, like from the European countries and from America. We have actually witnessed that before. And I'm not calling out any regions or any players specifically. I'm just saying, like, we have seen that, and I would be curious to know how they feel about that and how they felt about that opportunity, and if it's something that they want to do again, or, you know, kind of just how they felt in that moment and like after the fact. And, you know, anyway, that being said, I think it's a cool way to do it, but that's just me. You guys let me know how you feel. So there's the players path. You have the Power Plus winner, top 13 global leaderboard, and top 2 from the LCQ. So 2 players will qualify through the LCQ. Whoever wins the Power Plus event, which again I assume is Evo, is automatically qualified. And you take the top 13 players from the leaderboard plus 2 from LCQ. And then for online challenge, the top 1 regional leaderboards get to participate in the... Oh, okay, so the LCQ is actually online. It is an open online tournament. Okay. I wonder... The rollback is pretty good, but it's not that good to where you can play with literally anybody. You know what I mean? The rollback that they actually, excuse me, the rollback that they actually implemented into the game is pretty damn good. Like, I know when I was playing, I was able to play with like Globku or Obi Assassin all the way in the UK, or any of the French players. Like, I played with Damascus and Tyrant and Kasuga and Easy Man, and I even got to play with Origin, who I believe is all the way in Greece, and those connections were fine. The only player that I played with where it wasn't still really incredible was Raptor, who's all the way in Australia. You know what I mean? But I mean, that being said, for the most part, you could. It's just not perfect, but doable. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, like, I wonder what it's gonna be like trying to have players, because if you're gonna have players from all these different regions all trying to participate in like one online big bracket, it might not be the best, but who knows? The Power Plus champion and the top 13 players from the global leaderboard, along with the last chance qualifier finalists, will secure their spots in the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour. Additionally, the top player from each region will earn a trip to compete in the last chance qualifier tournament. Wait, now I'm a little confused. The top player from each region will earn a trip to compete in the last chance qualifier tournament. So hold on, is the LCQ online, or does each region have an online tournament where the top player from each region in that qualifier then goes to compete offline in the LCQ to see if they can actually compete in the World Tour finals? I'm a little confused on that. Maybe I'm just slow. I probably am. But yeah. Anyway, offline event categories, there's Power Plus, Power, and then Tenkaichi. The Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour features 3 types of offline events: Power Plus, Power, and Tenkaichi tournaments. Yeah, and it just says right here, this is for Evo. This will be all the other tournaments that I assume that are mostly on the leaderboard. And then the Tenkaichi events will be some like the smaller, like locals, I guess. But here we have the Power event dates and locations. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Also, I just realized that my camera might have still been blocking some of this stuff. Let me go back here down to the middle. But here you can see we have CEO, which is coming up, the Mix Up in France, which is next month in July. Then we have Evo, of course, which is the Seoul Power Plus event. Then we have what is this, FV Major, which is in Malaysia. I feel like I've watched this tournament before, but I don't think it was for Dragon Ball. Maybe it was for Tekken or something. Then we have the crossover in Germany, versus fighting. Is UFA on here? I don't see you. Okay, yeah, it is. I would say. Armit Games Day in Melbourne. Oh, okay, so Australia actually has an event as well. There's one in Dubai, the Emirates Showdown. UFA, Thunderstruck, we've seen this before. Tiger Uppercut. Again, Tiger Uppercut is an event I've watched for sure, but usually for Tekken. I don't remember if I've seen Dragon Ball there before. And then we have East Coast Throwdown, so ECT. A pretty good tour. I mean, you go on you got the US, France, obviously, you know, multiple US events, but the US, France, Malaysia, Germany, the UK, Australia. Actually worth noting, no Japan. And I wonder how many Japanese players will participate in the tour, because honestly, most of the players that we've known over the years to compete and participate and be like top guys don't really play the game very much anymore. Goichi, Kazunoko, Moke, Tachikawa, Dogura. I don't know if Fenrich is still playing the game at all, but he was kind of like one of the last few. You have Taco. But yeah, I don't really know. I'll be interested to know if this is going to be just completely US and EU dominated, and if there will be any real representation in the LCQ or let alone in the World Finals from other regions. But we'll definitely see. We're working closely with some of the best offline FGC tournaments around the world. Make sure to add them to your agenda. And then we have the Tenkaichi events, which is the community offline tournaments, which I'm going to assume is like locals or just like smaller, you know, events around the world. Here's the points breakdown if you're interested in that at all. I'll leave a link to this page in the description down below in case you want to check this out for yourself. But yeah, it's breaking down the points and the challenges and everything like that. And and then we have an interview here with Hiroki-san. I'm actually very curious about this. So let's go ahead and read this. What made you hold another world tour this year? Yeah, the decision to hold another Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour this year was influenced by several factors. First, the recent releases of the game on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. Second, the energy and passion displayed by players during last year's Battle Hour event demonstrated the game's vibrant community. Third, the robust online player base continues to thrive, making the World Tour a platform for dedicated fighters to prove their skills. Finally, we want this World Tour to be the pinnacle of all World Tours for DBFZ, uniting top players and celebrating the game's competitive scene. I don't really know if you could call it the pinnacle, because I feel like this is basically like at the end of DBFZ's lifespan, because like when I think of the pinnacle, I think of the peak, when things are at like it's, you know, it's most whatever, right? But regardless, it is still very exciting and very cool that they are supporting the game in this way, that there is going to be another balance adjustment, because we all thought that this was basically the end, that they are doing another world tour, because this is really for the community, you know what I'm saying? Because like they can't really be benefiting that much from doing this, because the player base has, you know, obviously shrank from its prime years and those first 3 to 4 years of the game, right? But man, that just, if we had rollback sooner, bro, if we would have had rollback sooner, oh, what could have been? Like the game was still great, had an incredible life, and it's still going. Like, I'm talking about like the game doesn't exist anymore, like it's dead, just because I don't play it. But regardless, like just it could have been even more. It could have been something even more special than what it already was if rollback had been in the game from the jump, or at the very least by the time the pandemic rolled around and everything like that. But it is what it is. That being said, this is all well and good. This is all cool. I wouldn't get my hopes up about DLC or like any further content. I know games like Xenoverse 2 and whatnot is still getting updates and content to this day. I think they just had a big DLC drop. But there's no mention anywhere in here, unless it's in this interview, about future content coming to the game, more characters, stages, costumes, anything like that. But we'll see. We'll see if they even touch on it or mention it. Was the rollback netcode implementation another reason for having this tour? Of course, this is also an important reason, as it was an awaited feature. To take advantage of this feature, we are happy to have online leaderboards in this year's World Tour, giving more chances to more players aiming to enter the World Tour. He tells more about this hybrid online and offline format. As mentioned, the rollback implementation allows us to add online leaderboards to the format on top of the traditional offline Power, Power Plus, and Tenkaichi events. The online leaderboards will be regional and will give access to a ticket for the LCQ. We have done our best to select a maximum number of countries, putting into account the number of users online. In any case, anyone from any country can organize their own Tenkaichi event to gain points in the, I assume, worldwide offline events ranking. And what can we expect from now on? I believe the team and I achieved what we wanted for this game with the PS5, Xbox Series XS version release and the rollback update with the help from the studio behind the PS5, Xbox version. I have one more good news for our players. Arc System Works and I are working on a new bounce. Oh, okay, we already knew that. I thought they was gonna say something else. Working on a new balance patch to come this summer after Evo to spice the competition up a bit more. Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping that would be before that, but that's cool. So at least we have some sort of time frame in mind. It's not gonna be till after Evo, but granted, Evo's next month. So that could be August, September, October, but they said the summer, so maybe in August. And one last word. Allow me to thank one more time all the players, the community, the tournament organizers, and everyone who helped in putting together the World Tour since 2018, including the wonderful casters Damascus and Tyrant. Yo, shout out to Damascus and Tyrant getting a shout from Hiroki-san herself. That's a cool honor. That's what's up. I wish everyone a great competition this year again. Yeah, wow, Dragon Ball FighterZ is getting another World Tour and another big balance patch. One last ride, the last dance, one final rodeo, boys and girls. Hey, it's gonna be kind of lit. It's gonna be kind of lit. I'll definitely be watching the competition for sure, and I actually want to talk with some of the players and kind of get their thoughts and opinions on this and see how they feel, and see, and you know, kind of put my finger on the pulse of the community and see, hey, are y'all excited about this? Or are you gonna be participating? I'm gonna hit up some of the guys, and you know, like Inzim, Nitro, Pred, Obi Assassin, Kasuga. I want to Wade, Yasha. I want to talk to some of these guys and see if they're gonna play, if they're still gonna compete. Because like I said, I think a lot of people after that last tour, they're like, all right, that's it. DBFZ had its run. Now we're done. Time to move on to the next. But hey, one final rodeo, one last dance. So let's see. And this opens the doors for more videos and content and everything like that. Because not only I could always go back and play the game if I wanted to, and obviously there's going to be a patch, so there'll be something to explore there. But also, you know, if you guys want videos of me talking with some of the players and seeing how they feel about this and talking about the game, hopes and expectations for the patch, current, you know, state of the game and how people are feeling on balance and the rollback now that things have been the way they are for a bit now. And that's, if you guys want to see that type of stuff, or if you have any ideas for content that you want to see with me talking about DBFZ, whether it's about the game or with players or whatever, feel free to drop down the comments down below. But with that, I think that's as good a place to end to wrap up this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit this video with a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already so you can stay tuned for all the content I'm bringing you. And with all that being said, that is pretty much all I have today. And remember, nothing can happen until you swing the bat. Later.